My name is Taylor Jackson, aka Lilbro Taylor, and with another season of Hard Knocks drama on and off the field upon us, Apollo Media is here to take you off the gridiron. Isn't that right, Noah?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Off the Gridiron, episode 3. My name is Noah Outlaw. I'm one of your hosts, and as always, I'm here with Lilbro Taylor.
What up, what up?
What's up, brother? It's an exciting week. It's an exciting time.
It's one of the most exciting weeks of the entire year. It feels like Christmas morning is upon us.
I was talking to Garrett, earlier, and I was like, literally September 11th, which is an odd day to say, but it's like the day I've been anticipating the most. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Not a stellar date there.
Yes, not a stellar. It's like you say it and you're like, ooh, that sounds off. But I am excited for September 11th. That's what I was. Anyway, September week 1, we'll say, is right around the corner. It's coming up, and we just can't wait for the NFL to finally get back games that matter, and especially the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I mean, we just got done with the first slate of college football, and I'm jazzed. I'm hyped.
Yeah,
watching boys out there slam some helmets together has got me giddy. UTSA, U of H, obviously that was the big game down here in Houston. Everybody's watching. Yeah. And it's just got me pumped for the NFL season moving forward. Speaking of the Houston Texans, though, another big move in between episodes.
Yep.
O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard, former Buccaneer, was on the Bills there, got cut when they shaved down to their 53-man roster. When the news broke that O.J. Howard was cut from the Bills, he immediately got a lot of interest from a lot of teams, and the Texans ended up snagging him. He actually had a deal done with Cincinnati. He was in Cincinnati, and then they last minute decided they're going to run with the tight ends they have. So then the Texans were there to scoop him up, and I like the move. It's one thing. Our tight end group is, we have Brevin Jordan, who's going into his second year. He had a fine rookie year. I'm excited to see what he can do, and that's a player I'm most intrigued to see what his jump is going to be this year. And I think O.J. Howard, and we also have Pharaoh Brown, who is going to get some snaps and got a lot of play time last year. The tight end room is interesting, and I think what O.J. Howard brings is a lot of experience, and a lot of just a lot of football knowledge, and I really think he's going to be more of a mentor role for Brevin Jordan. You know what I mean? Which is cool. That's fine with me as long as we don't take away from Brevin.
In opposed to some of these other guys, he is a pass catcher first.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all remember when O.J. Howard was coming into the league, but he had superstar potential.
Yeah.
Everybody was so high on him.
Yep.
And he's still got a little bit of that in him.
Mm-hmm.
So Caserio and company are still sticking to their guns of high ceiling, low floor. We're going to take the risk.
Yeah.
You've seen it with them deciding Dameon Pierce is the RB1 now. That happened. That move happened mid-episode last week.
Yeah.
And then going with moves like Kenyon Green, Stingley in the draft.
Yeah.
And a guy like
Jalen Petrie. Yeah.
Or more. There's guys that just have huge upside. The floor's a little bit lower than you'd like them to be, but at the same time, this organization has decided that they're going to be taking risks this year.
True, and I love it. I mean, why not? When you're at the point where we are, where the Texans are and this roster is, and we're in a rebuild, you want to get these guys who have high ceilings, and I like the risk taking. I do. And O.J. Howard, it's also like it's not a huge risk to bring him in. He's not probably, I don't know what his contract's looking like.
I think he fits very well too. Like
I think he does
too. Especially the way Mills delivers the ball over the middle and stuff.
Yeah.
Having somebody like that just being able to patrol that inside the box is gonna be nice. It's gonna open things up for Brandon Cooks and company out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm interested to see what his play time is gonna look like. I'm the one thing we are going to talk about, but I'll bring it up for this conversation, is the unofficial Texans depth chart. The Texans released it. It's unofficial, but it gives you a good look at what the team's going to be looking like, week 1. And he's listed as the 3rd string tight end.
He hasn't even seen the playbook yet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how much playtime he gets week 1 and then, throughout the season. And I really think OJ is going to end up being maybe not tight end 1, but I think he's going to be splitting a lot of reps with Brevin. I don't know how Farrell Brown works into this. I really don't. He just doesn't have. I think he's the worst tight end we have now.
At the end of the day, there's an odd man out.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just don't know. But I don't know. I could see them getting him in there, but I just don't know what his role is going to be. But I'm excited for the OJ Howard move. I'm not expecting him to have some big, renaissance here. He's going to come back and he's going to be tight end 3 in fantasy and all this. Like,
nothing like that. But what I think they're hoping for is to just open up the offense a little bit.
Yeah.
Make them respect the seams.
Yeah. And David, like you said, Davis likes his tight ends. Davis is going to be hitting whatever tight end is in there quite a bit. He's gonna be using them a lot. So OJ Howard should put up some numbers. I'm interested to see what he does. I like the move from.
But Casario. But they just scooped him. Need a week or two to really get the playbook under his thing.
Yeah.
So week 1, we probably don't see a ton of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of week 1 though, Colts Texans starting the year off strong, and if there's a time when you're gonna trap the Colts, it's week 1, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, one thing we know about the NFL is divisional games. Anything can happen. Divisional games, every single game matters when it comes to divisional games. And look, the Colts are obviously on paper a better team than the Texans. And I'm not saying that the Texans. I'm not saying I think they're going to win. I really have no idea. If I had to predict it, I'd say the Colts probably win, but in a close one. That would be my prediction. But anything can happen. It's week 1. We have no idea what this team looks like. We have no idea what the Texans are going to look like. And we don't know what the Colts are going to look like.
And this is every year. We all like to pick and choose, play wizard in a hat on who's who. But it's not until like week 2 or 3 till you really start to see what some of these units truly look like.
Yeah.
Because football, more so than any other sport, things change from one year to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. In a big way. And also, look, this is the 3rd straight year the Colts have had a different quarterback, and they're all kind of they got Phillip Rivers in 2020. Yeah, 2020 they had Phillip Rivers. 2021 they had Carson Wentz. In 2022 they're going into the season with Matt Ryan.
I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. Matt Ryan is an old man.
Yeah.
He is not the Matt Ryan of 2017.
No.
Of 2014. Of these great years he had.
Right. His MVP
We're
year
about to see him fall off a cliff. Everybody thinks this is just going to go swimmingly for him.
I don't understand that at all because also he's 37 years old, like you mentioned.
37.
He's 37. He's an old quarterback. He, like you said, he had his 2017. They went to the Super Bowl. He won MVP. That's awesome. But also, the Colts don't have this great track record with bringing in these old quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers wasn't terrible with the Colts. I mean, he was fine. I don't know what the Colts record was in 20.
That seems to be the MO for Colts quarterbacks since Peyton Manning, though. Since Andrew Luck. They're fine.
Yeah, they can't figure. All right. Well, in 2020 they did go 11-5, so they did have a pretty successful year. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening with Matt. I like Matt Ryan, and if he wasn't on the Colts, I'd be rooting for him. I still am rooting for him, but obviously with some, obviously I want him to lose some games because I want the Texans to have a good spot in the division. But I just don't see it working, and you're right. I've noticed this too. A lot of people are just like, "Oh, well, Matt Ryan's great."
Yeah.
I was looking the Ringer, the NFL, for just sports in general. They do every year. They do quarterback rankings, and it's actually a really awesome list. The guy who does it is Steven Ruiz, and he has great insight, and I love how it's set up. I was looking at it earlier. Guess where they had Matt Ryan in the top, in Quinn's quarterback rankings?
17.
12.
What?
Above Derek Carr.
What?
Above Kirk Cousins. Above, and then and also and then it gets to Jameis Winston, which, who dat or whatever, who day. What do y'all say?
Who dat?
Who dat?
Who day is
Cincinnati.
Is the Bengals.
Yeah, Cincinnati. But Jameis, seeing maybe Matt Ryan. I see Matt Ryan and Jameis as more of an even comparison.
I think what's about to happen to Matt Ryan is what we saw happen to Drew Brees in his final year when he just can't send the ball down the field like that anymore.
Yeah. Which, yeah, and I totally see that. I could see that happening too. I could totally see that being the case.
And maybe week 1 or something. But by the time we get to week 6 or 7, when he's had a few hard hits on him, he's fallen on that shoulder a few more times.
Yeah,
a 37-year-old is not bouncing back from this shit week in, week out like he did in the past.
Not at all. I mean, unless you're a guy, obviously there are the guys that
and he's not
make
Brett
it
Favre.
work. Yeah, I mean, and how old is Aaron? Aaron's probably pretty, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and obviously the elephant in the room is Tom Brady when you talk about age. Aaron Rodgers is 38, which is actually kind of nuts to think about. But
you can't put either of those.
You can't compare them exactly.
In the
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you can't compare them. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. It's going to be. I'm happy the Texans are playing the Colts week 1 because it's a good test for the Texans week 1. Unlike last year where week 1 the Texans came in and the Texans played the Jaguars and the Urban Meyer led rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and the Texans beat the dog shit out of them. And then so I was going into week 2 like, whoa,
I remember.
We're fucking,
I remember.
Yeah, we're fucking good. And obviously that wasn't the case. We won 4 games. So I'm excited to get a team, and we've talked about the Colts a little bit. You seem to be pretty high on the Colts.
I think where their strength really lies is how stable they are in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Right.
And that's really my X factor going into this Colts-Texans game is, can the Houston Texans put pressure on Matt Ryan? Can they get past guys like Quentin Nelson on the line? And, because if you're going to be successful in this league, you have to apply pressure.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a good determining factor to see really where this Texans front 7 lies.
Yeah.
And to see what they can do moving forward in the season. Because this is a good offensive line you're about to go up against.
Fantastic, and also probably the best running back in the league. Maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going number 1 in all fantasy.
Exactly. So Jonathan Taylor, this is the real tech. Matt Ryan, yeah, whatever. We'll see what. But also, I think our secondary will be able to hold up against Michael Pittman. He's good.
I'm low on Pittman just because I'm low on Ryan.
It's what I mean. I agree with you there. And it's so I'm not too worried about how the Texans secondary is going to hold up against Michael Pittman and Matt Ryan and Paris Campbell. You know what I mean? Like there's just that offensive
Paris
line
Campbell
and Jonathan Taylor are, and the front 7 for the Texans. It's not terrible, but it definitely is one of the weaker points.
You got like Greenwood. You got people in there that have potential to go out there and provide a spark. Will they? Yeah,
it's will they. Roy Lopez is a guy, like a defensive tackle for the Texans who's going into his second year. He was a 6th-round pick, had a great season last year. It's going to be those guys. It's going to be a real test to see, what's going on there. And also, obviously, going into if Jonathan Taylor runs all over their ass, how do you also in week 2, 3, 4 and beyond, how do you adjust to that? You know what I mean? Because you're not playing Jonathan Taylor every week either. You know what I mean? But
at least 4 games a year, you're going to have to play Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor.
Which is pretty ridiculous.
And people are pretty high on Travis Etienne this year as well.
Etienne. AFC South is the running back division. I mean, depending on how Dameon Pierce
too.
Exactly. Dameon Pierce is like the hype train is crazy.
I mean, what a jump. When we were recording this time last week, he was the 3rd string back.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now he's the premier starter.
He is. He's going to be getting first down reps. He's going to be the starter out there this week. And Rex Burkhead is going to be in there every now and then. But Dameon Pierce is going to get a fuck ton of carries, I'm thinking. And I'm excited for it because he's a dog. And in college, he didn't get many carries. That was his thing. That was the whole. They talked about this a lot. And I talked about this last week. But I'm interested to see how he takes a workload like that because we haven't seen. I don't think he's ever had a workload, where he's just getting a ton of carries. And so I'm interested to see how he can hold up, especially as a rookie. But he's never going to be more fresh than he is week 1. You know what I mean?
Lovey seems like a guy that wants his workhorse running back.
No, 100%.
I don't think we're going to see a 50-50 split between him and Burkhead.
No. And Lovey's said it on, and Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, have said so many times that this is a running football team. Lovey wants us to be a running football team and then pass when we need to. And obviously, you know, when you have a talented receiver like Cooks, I'm hoping that it's maybe we don't rely on the run too much. You know what I mean? Especially because Davis is a guy that we got to see what, you know, he's about, and I want him to get tested. I think week one, to jump to the Davis Mills conversation, you know, I want to see Davis sling this rock this week. I don't want conservative play calling. I want him to be tested. I want him to have to throw shit on a dime. I want him to have to really put it in some tight spots to see what can you do. What have you been working on?
What I want to see is not necessarily the long shots, the deep throws, but I want to see them keeping the linebackers accountable by hitting those 15 to 20 yard crossing routes to see if he can hit those out routes on the sideline, something we saw him struggle with in training camp. If he can do that, it will keep their linebackers respecting. You know, that, and then that opens up things for Damian Pierce. Everything's cyclical. And on offense and defense as well, because I'm thinking that on the flip side, if the front seven can keep them contained, or if the secondary can cause some turnovers, it causes the other team to start shifting to the other side and gives you a better perspective of what you have to do to attack that team moving forward for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk about our defense a little more. So actually, I'm going to go through the depth chart here because the unofficial depth chart just came out for the Texans, and I just want to go through the starters on each side of the football real quick. So we got Davis Mills obviously starting at quarterback. Damian Pierce is RB1. Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins are wide receiver 1 and 2. With Philip Dorsett and Chris Moore, both are going to be getting, you know, a lot of play time, I believe. I'm
excited for Chris Moore.
Me too. I think Chris Moore is a guy that has potential. How old was Chris Moore? Because he's a guy last year that I had no idea was on our football team, if I'm being honest. And he just...
I feel like that's a good number of Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's true.
Last year.
That's true. And he's 29 years old. So he's
29.
He's old. I didn't realize that.
It's now or never, more.
Yeah, I know. And so, but he just came out of nowhere, especially in the Patriots game last year. It was one of Davis's early starts, and I was watching. I was like, "Who is this guy?" I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not saying he's going to have a crazy year by any means, but he's going to get some play time.
Wait, hold on. But not to jump back, but before we jump from Texans Colts, final prediction.
God, I'm going to say Colts win 28-17.
Okay. I'm going to go with a burner right here, okay?
Oh, shit.
I love week 1 trap games. I don't know what the line's at right now, but I'm taking Texans money line.
Colts by 8 is the
Colts by 8?
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. Shit.
That's what let me see if it's changed, but last time I'm
thinking money line. My final score prediction, Texans 24, Colts 20.
Whoa, you got the Colts or the Texans winning.
Taking that trap game. I don't know about moving forward. If you're gonna get one against, and I know this goes against our first episode. I think I had them on a loss here, but
you die.
If you're gonna get one against the Colts this year, it's gonna be this one.
It's gonna be this one. Yeah, which I totally agree. And also, the line was updated. It's Colts by 7 now.
Yeah, I like Texans money line.
Yeah.
Week 1, it's weird.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a weird game where we're like, wait, what is going on? Or maybe not weird. Maybe all the work's paying off. And Davis is killing it. Cooks is out there balling. Nico's balling. Pierce is 120 yards, a tutty. You know, I'm hoping that's the case. Matt Ryan's a little slow, a little rusty. That's my goal. Also, I don't want to talk about this too much, but the Colts, there's been some reports out of Indianapolis this offseason that the locker room is not loving Matt Ryan.
Why would they?
The
Colts refuse to bring in like fun new talent. Like they're so hard-nosed, you know. Matt Ryan is the perfect Colts quarterback in my head.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. He's
because they could have went and got Jimmy G.
They could have. Yeah, it's just so weird. Why? I guess if he was available, I guess Matt Ryan's more proven. But yeah, if I'm a Colts fan, I'd be like, what are you doing with Matt? let's get Jimmy G. Also, the free agent quarterback market is going to be interesting because Baker Mayfield's a free agent. Well, I feel like next year they're going to have a different starter. I don't think Matt Ryan's their starter in 2023.
Another game I'm hammering is Panthers money line all day. The Browns are going to get absolutely smoked.
You think so? Well,
Baker revenge game.
Before, what was your prediction again? I don't know.
24-20.
24-20. Houston Texans winning. I'm going to say Colts 17-28. I'm going to be conservative. I'm not going to be super. I really hope the Texans win, and I think they have a chance. But I'm gonna stay safe, and I think it's going to be a good performance. I think I think the Texans are going to put up a good 17 points. I think Dameon Pierce is going to have a good game. I think Davis is going to be fine. I'm excited, but I do want to jump into NFL Week 1 discussion.
Wait, so. Real quick, let's just round out the rest of the depth chart there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do have Kenyon Green not as the registered starter.
True.
Which, I get that. I'm sure there's still a few packages that he's having trouble picking up that he won't here in a few weeks.
Yeah,
but
Justin McCray is our starter at left guard, which I don't understand, really. I think everything I've seen from Kenyon, he is a little injured. He's been dealing with some injuries, so maybe that plays into it. But Lovie Smith did say that he's going to play a lot of football for him before the Texans this year. So I wouldn't even be shocked if we get out there Week 1 this Sunday and Kenyon is the starting left guard.
Really?
There. Yeah, I think I could see that. And other than that, the depth chart's pretty much the same. A little thing is Neville Hewitt starting at linebacker over Garrett Wallow on this, which is weird.
Surprising.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But other than that, there's nothing crazy. Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, Jonathan Owens, Steven Nelson is the starting secondary. Desmond King's going to be out there. But yeah, nothing crazy. I'm expecting a big year from Jonathan Grenard. I think 10+ sacks is what I'm guessing.
10+? Sheesh.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
I don't know about that high, but I think he does have a really good year.
Yeah. He had 8 last year, and he played like 12 games. So, fuck it.
Could. Very well could.
Yeah.
And, if this Houston Texans team is going to surprise people, it's going to take guys like him to absolutely show out.
And Lovie Smith, his defense, no matter what you say about a head coach or whatever, his defense is good at one thing, getting pressure and causing turnovers, which is my favorite thing to watch a defense do.
That's the point of the other side of the ball.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, let's move on to NFL Week 1. We're going to talk about just the whole NFL here for a minute. Taylor, going into Week 1, what games, what storylines are you anticipating, the most?
So we're gonna find out. I think this is a good test to see how much Kansas City lost. They're going up against Arizona. Vegas has this as the highest point total out of every other game.
Could definitely see that.
And we're going to see if Juju and Sky Moore can just kind of plug in there and fill some holes that were left. You're not going to fill the hole that was Tyreek Hill, the fastest man that's ever lived.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Andy Reid. Andy Reid's no scrub. We'll see what he can brew up over there. I'm excited for that. And then obviously the Baker revenge game.
Yeah.
I'm so looking for it. You saw what was the quote he had on it? I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, and I think he came out and said that he didn't say that, but I think it's bullshit because he didn't say that in a press conference. It was like a player told somebody that he said that, and he was like, "I didn't say that."
It does sound like something Baker Mayfield would say and then say he didn't say.
Exactly, it's something that Baker said in the locker room, and then he was like, "Why'd that get out?" Oh, I didn't say that. He said it. And he is excited to play this game. Baker, that's probably the storyline I'm most looking forward to seeing because that's just been a crazy dramatic thing going on this offseason is just the Browns quarterback situation and trading for Deshaun, and then Baker was all pissed. Baker Mayfield might throw 8 touchdowns. You know what I mean? He might throw 8 touchdowns. Now, obviously, he's not going to throw 8, but I do think I don't know. You said Carolina. You think they're going to win? I don't. Yeah. I don't think so.
Really?
No. I think Baker's going to play well. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how well Baker plays.
It's Week 1. It's so hard to gauge.
It's so hard, but also the Browns' defense is cold as fuck. They are good, and that Carolina team is not that good. They're not that good. Baker is a fine quarterback to have, better than Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? And then
talk about a team with quarterbacks. They're running with 3 right now.
Crazy. And then also, C-Mac, hopefully he can get back, and then that's great. The receivers, DJ Moore, cool, I guess. I don't see the Panthers as this team that is going to be killing it this year. And the Browns, their defense is nuts. And so I think if the Browns offense can put something together, if Jacoby Brissett looks competent at all, then I really think the Browns are going to win this game, and their defense is going to carry it to them.
Wow, disagree again. Something else we didn't bring up earlier. How about that fucking Russell Wilson contract?
Oh, my God.
Woof! Denver believes, don't they?
They sure do, which, I mean, I don't blame him. It's Russell Wilson.
I agree.
I mean, you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, I'm talking. Russell Wilson is pretty... Okay, sorry. I'm excited for Russell Wilson. That's another storyline I can't wait to see. Because also, week 1, he plays Seattle in Seattle.
Revenge games are the best. They are the best.
The NFL schedule makers are. It's just a little obvious what they're trying to do. Baker,
which entertainment.
I love it. No, I love it. But Baker playing the Browns and Russell playing the Seahawks week 1, both of them. Which also the Russell thing. When Baker plays Cleveland,
this is a little bit less.
There's some animosity there. Mm-hmm. Russell still has a great relationship with Seattle. Pete Carroll said nothing but good things about Russell.
It was just time for the relationship to end.
It
ran its course.
Exactly. So, but that's another thing I'm excited about. Who's winning that game? That is a rhetorical question. The Broncos might win by 40.
A lot of people that are looking, on the flip side, wanting Texans to tank again, wanting them to go get a number 1 pick. Seattle's going to stand in that way.
Yeah.
Seattle's getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, 100%.
They're so bad. Them in Atlanta are going to dog it out for it.
I see all these mock drafts for the next year. It's incredibly early to be looking at mock drafts, but that's what I do. That is my life. And everyone says the Texans are going to have the first overall pick. And I'm like, have you seen what's going on in Seattle?
No.
Have you seen that is if there was AAA football teams, that's a AAA football team. Like, I'm sorry, Drew Lock should be playing for the Sugar Land Space Cowboys.
He's not even the starter. Geno Smith is starting.
Oh, that's true. Which is
even worse. I feel like in my head,
Geno Smith's a AA quarterback.
You remember? I remember watching Drew Lock like 3 years ago absolutely tear the Texans apart.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like, that dude still got a little dog in him, but...
He does. Yeah, that Broncos game in 2019 where Drew Lock put up like 40 against a, in my opinion, the best Texans team. That, like... 2019 is probably the best Texans team. Some people can make an argument about 2012 or 2018, but 2019, just everything. Our defense was a little lackluster, but the offense was nuts. And I remember going into that game, I was like, Denver's going to be an easy win. And Drew Lock destroyed us, but something happened there. I've never thought Drew Lock was that dude, though. I've never thought that. Maybe that's just me. He was playing at Mizzou, and I was like, that's okay. People were talking about it. I was like, I don't think he's anything. I don't think he has it. And he's not even starting for the terrible Seattle Seahawks. So, yeah, we'll see. But Geno Smith isn't good either. The Broncos might win that game by 40.
All right. Here's a little fantasy segment I want to throw on you right here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna name some players for you.
Okay.
Buy or sell.
Okay.
Full PPR rules.
All right.
Because at this point, everybody should be wrapping up their fantasy drafts. Mm-hmm. We're here.
So better get on it.
Thursday.
Yeah. Two days away from the first
Thursday.
regular.
Here we go.
We got to talk about that game too, but I want to do this.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
All right. Cam Akers.
I'm going to sell. Not into Cam Akers. I get it. He's like the main back there in Los Angeles. But first off, the receiving talent there is amazing. Matt Stafford is just going to sling the rock all year. He'll have some good games. He's going to be good. I wouldn't want him as my RB1.
I've always been under the impression in my head that like there used to be this stigma that like if a team is a good passing team, you don't draft the running back and vice versa.
Yeah.
I am completely against. Like I said earlier, I think everything's cyclical. I think, the passing game affects the run game, and the run game affects the pass game. One succeeding, it opens the other one up. That's why I'm buying on Cam Akers.
You drafted him?
I did draft him. I got him in the 4th round. Everybody's scared.
See, that's not too bad. And also,
I'm just going with a bunch of broken hamstrings. I got CMC and Cam Akers.
Which here in a minute, I do want to break down both of our fantasy teams, but we'll do that here in a minute. Do you have any other players for this?
Oh yeah. I got a few off the top of my head.
All right,
we'll rapid fire here some of them. Drake London.
Buying Drake London.
You're buying Drake London. I'm selling on Drake London.
Yeah, but you've been a Drake London hater since we were covering the draft.
I'm even more so a Atlanta Falcons hater. So.
Which I understand that aspect of it, but there's no Calvin Ridley.
I don't trust anybody coming out of the USC since 2007.
I mean, I understand that, but Drake London seems to have, I don't know, there's something about him that I like a lot. And also, Kyle Pitts is obviously going to be a huge target there, but he's going to be covered a lot. And Drake London's a big guy. He's going to get into a lot of he's going to be single covered a lot, and Mariota's going to throw it up to him. And Drake London, how tall is he? Like 6'4" or something like that?
Oh yeah, dude, he's huge.
Yeah, so he's just going to jump up and he's going to moss people. And so I do. I mean, I'm good. I guess I'd have him on my team, but he might be on my bench for the first couple weeks. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'd see it. But I like him more than Cam Akers.
All right, I'm going to fire 3 more to you.
Okay.
Breece Hall.
Sell. I don't even think he's RB1.
Same. I have no idea why everybody got so high on this man.
Is it Michael Taylor? Or who is there's another running back in New York on the Jets that is apparently starting over him. And he's apparently been in camp and way better. That's what I've been hearing. But I'm selling Breece Hall. I don't care. Breece Hall went way too high.
God bless the Jets.
Dameon Pierce, the best rookie running back.
Noah Fant.
On that terrible Seattle team. No, I'm selling. Just DK is going to get every single. Well, I guess he might have the same. He's a tight end though. He's not like Drake London. I'm not comparing. No, selling Noah Fant.
All right, and my last one, the one I still don't really know how to gauge or not. He's old. Julio Jones. Got Tom Brady slinging the rock to him now. Yeah. You've seen what he did with AB. You've seen what he done with I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's goddamn Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, exactly. I'm buying Julio Jones.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
Gronk is gone. Okay, no Gronk for Tom. Chris Godwin's going to be out until I don't know when, maybe week 4 or 5. Julio's going to get a lot of targets. Also, one thing that I was reading about Julio, this is like a couple months ago, and I thought was very intriguing, or maybe it was whenever he signed, so maybe last month. When Julio went to Tennessee, where he was last year, there were reports around the building that he kind of came in thinking he was just a shit, and he wasn't. He didn't want to practice. And he was like, no, I'm good. I'll just be out there. And he didn't have a good connection with Tannehill. It just wasn't working. That's why he wasn't good at all last year. He looked very washed.
I imagine if Ryan Tannehill yells at you to take this serious, you probably laugh.
Exactly. And Julio noticed that, and he said whenever he didn't say this like in an interview or anything, but this is a report that he's told whatever team he's going to that he's 100% locked in. Is going to work his ass off, going to practice every damn day. And also, like you mentioned, it's Tom fucking Brady throwing him the rock. Yes, I think he is getting a lot of targets. If he's not a guy you should draft in like the first 5 rounds of a draft, but like, a late round pick, if he's available, I'd snag him for sure, buying.
Absolutely. And like a 12-man league for sure.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to watch Tampa Bay this year. Tom, this whole offseason thing, he's retired, he's not. He disappeared from training camp for like 2 weeks or whatever. People are like, what's he doing? I'm excited. It seems that Todd Bowles is the head coach there now. Bruce Arians is out. He's in the front office. A lot of weird thing. No Gronk. I'm very interested.
What happens to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if week 3 Tom Brady breaks a finger or something? What happens to that team are they completely down the shitter?
Yeah.
Because
they're a talented team, but it's just
I look at teams and I don't know if I want to give them as high of a rating as everybody else does when one injury takes you completely away.
Yeah.
Because I look at the Saints over the past 4 or so years. We've cycled through like 9 quarterbacks through injuries throughout the years, and they keep winning. Whether it's Taysom Hill, whether it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
My understanding is you plug somebody like that in Tampa Bay, and they're dog shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's weird though, right? Because you look at this roster.
In my head, it's a very impressive house, but it's a house of cards.
Well, yeah. Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, Cameron Brate, Kyle Rudolph. There's talented guys on this team. Their backup quarterback is Blaine Gabbert. Their third string quarterback is Kyle Trask. I'm sorry, neither of those guys are coming in if Tom Brady goes down, and they're not winning football games. I don't care if you can throw 50-50 balls to Mike Evans as much as you want. You could hit Kyle Rudolph, whatever you want to do. Julio Jones, it ain't happening. So, yeah, it is kind of a house of cards. But when Tom Brady is starting, good fucking team.
Absolutely. I mean, I personally still have the Saints win the division. I mean, we've played Tom Brady 7 times now, and we're 6-1 or something like that.
What's the Saints' schedule looking like?
It's much easier than last year. The end of the season gets a little iffy, but we start the year off with the Falcons and
right. I don't know. I'll root for them too. I'm not gonna say I think they will. I think the Saints have a chance to be a good team. I'm interested to see what Dennis Allen does there. But Jameis is an ex.
See, here's the thing: our offensive coordinator has been here since I think 2009.
Wow.
So,
God, really?
It's not like we're bringing in a shitload of new personnel. It's just why can't I fucking remember his name right now?
Saints, your OC?
No, my head coach,
Dennis Allen.
My old head, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, my old head coach.
It's just time for Sean Payton to leave, but it's not like we're completely reforming the system. It's mostly the same coaching staff.
Right.
It's just Dennis Allen got promoted.
Well, wait. Oh, I'm looking at something right now. Apparently, Chris Godwin might be ready to go week 1, which is weird.
Why rush him?
That's a weird because I have him on my fantasy team, and now he was projected to get 0 points. Now he's projected to get 17.
It's a fucking jump.
What is that? Okay, but speaking of fantasy, I'm excited for the Saints. I'm rooting for them, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think Jameis needs to.
And then there's this weird little will they won't they on the whole Alvin Kamara situation.
Yeah, right.
Most of the analytics seem to imply that if there is a suspension, it will happen next year, not this year.
Yeah. So
I'm just waiting for some phantom hotel lobby footage to be leaked and everything to change.
Right. Well, because I don't even. What happened? He just beat up a guy, and
I think they were drunk. Somebody's talking shit, and he,
Interesting. Did he got like arrested? I'm guessing, or
yeah, he got arrested. Made bail.
Okay. Yeah, it's a weird situation.
But then his court date like 2 or 3 months ago got pushed back to January. So
interesting.
What does that just mean? We just don't get him for like the Super Bowl, or
I don't think I just. Yeah, I guess.
That would fucking suck. We get all the way there, we don't get Alvin.
Oh, that would be pretty terrible.
But Mark Ingram may be a sleeper pick to have on your thing this year because he will touch the ball a lot this year.
Yeah, I love Mark. When Mark was a Texan for 3 weeks, it was cool.
He's a grinder. He puts his nose down and hits the hole.
I love his energy too. He just brings juice. You know what I mean? To the whole team. So, I think Kamara plays. I don't even think he'll get suspended, to be honest. I mean, if he does, it'll be next year, and I think it'll be like 4 games.
I certainly hope not. And as far as things that athletes do that are bad. I'm going to put this on the not so bad part.
Yeah, it's like
obviously you can't go around hitting people, but you know.
But if you're
we have some much worse examples.
Exactly. And there's a man that much worse is making $230 million guaranteed. So
plays in the shittiest city in the nation.
Exactly. Pretty much. Other than like Tampa Bay maybe, but or not Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's great. I was thinking about Jacksonville.
Okay, I don't know if we're going to say Tampa Bay's great.
No, Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay's not great. Tampa Bay, but it's not that bad. All right, let's jump into our fantasy teams. We both had drafts recently. I thought this would be fun because I think the people viewing could kind of, it'd be fun for them to maybe
absolutely. I mean, everybody's doing the drafts right now.
Keep up with it, yeah. And also, it's just people can be watching the games and be like, well.
Oh, little side note. You know what I just realized? I knew it had been going on for forever.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my dad. Him and his college, buddies are going into their 33rd straight fantasy football draft, or just had it.
Wow.
They did it the very first year fantasy football became a thing. They got their fucking news from the Dallas Morning News and penciled in the stats themselves. I think it was 1990.
That just seems so much work.
I've been up there. I've been up there 4 or 5 times. They always do the draft up in Dallas. They rent out this huge place. We go in there. They got the draft board the size of this wall, and it's absolutely insane how serious everybody takes it. Nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's headphones in, laptop in, doing the math.
I bet the buy-in's legit.
Oh yeah. I think buy-in's like 500 or something like that every year.
Yeah,
and I think next year I want to travel up there and do like a little mini doc on it.
Absolutely,
because I was doing the math. There can't be a longer running league. They can be tied with this league, but this is the first year. This is the
first one, yeah. Unless somebody...
It very well may be the longest running tenured league in the world.
Yeah, unless somebody there's some group of friends that lives like 100 miles out of Green Bay or something was created it first, and they're like, hey, we created this first and we were eating cheese.
But it'd be like a month or something.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, 100%. No, the first Off the Gridiron documentary.
Absolutely, dude. It's fun up there. I'll bring you up next year. It's a lot of fun.
Dude. Oh, that sounds like a blast.
But it's fantasy season. It's everybody's favorite time of the year. It's when you get to really start hating your friends again.
Yeah.
And that's what we all love to do is talk 100%. A little shit on Sunday whenever your wide receiver 3 just went for 99 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just drafted what day? Sunday night, so 2 days ago. And I know you drafted about I think the same night, Sunday.
Mine was Saturday.
Well, so I want
Sunday.
I want both of us to go and we'll go one by one. I think we go QB, running back. You know what I mean? And or maybe not. That will take too long. But let's
because we're in the same style of league though. 10-man full PPR.
Yeah. Yep. So we're similar leagues. So I'll start with my team. Then we'll go through yours. But I want your thoughts on. I'm not super happy about it, honestly. Also, I made a trade that hasn't gone through, but I'll talk about that. My QB1 is Dak Prescott.
Hate it.
Yeah. Derrick Henry. Love it. I have Dameon Pierce.
So you came at the 3rd pick, right?
3rd pick.
And you got
I got
Henry there at the 3rd.
Derrick with the 1st pick. And then I got Dameon, but I just made a trade.
Okay.
With someone else in the league. I sent Jahan Dotson and Chris Godwin for Antonio Gibson.
What?
Antonio Gibson.
The man that's taking kick return reps right now?
No. He's our RB1.
No, he's not.
He's an RB1. Is he not?
No, he's not.
You're lying to me.
Ron Rivera has him fucking taking punt returns and kick returns now.
No, he doesn't.
I swear to God.
No, he doesn't, bro. Bullshit. I'm about to look.
Go look.
No, he's not. He's fucking on their depth chart. He's running back 1. J.D. McKissick is the backup.
I've heard reports.
Look, I know projections don't mean shit, but he's projected to get 14 points week 1. That's fine with me, mother. If he gets 14, and I get the trade sounds weird, but I am stacked at receiver. Okay, I have a lot of receivers. I'll show you. But and Dameon Pierce is RB2. I love Dameon, But I wanted another RB2 that was a little more established.
Another RB trade that seems to be happening, or at least it's on the market right now, is Kareem Hunt to Philly. Have you heard about this?
Really? I have not heard about that.
There's talks going on between Cleveland and Philly about seeing a Kareem Hunt over there, and he is the renowned RB1 if he gets over there. Goodbye, Miles Sanders.
Well, good thing I drafted him. I have Kareem Hunt.
There you go. Just let him sit there. Let him marinate in the back for a little bit.
So I'll have Antonio Gibson. I'll have Dameon Pierce, Robert Woods, Mark Andrews, tight end, CeeDee Lamb, Allen Robinson, Juju, Garrett Wilson, Melvin Gordon.
I like the Garrett Wilson pick. He got snagged right before me, and I was livid about it.
They're gonna feed him.
Dude, he's so talented. The way he can contort his body in midair and just snag. It's like a young Julio.
Yeah, absolutely. And
or like a young D-Hop almost.
Yeah, and also Allen Robinson and Juju. Juju is, I wasn't sold on Juju, and then you said 4 or 5 very simple words to me. And I was like, you're so fucking right. I don't know why. This is a couple weeks ago. I think I was actually on the first episode. We were talking about Juju in Kansas City. And I was like, I don't think it's going to work. And then you said, he's Patrick Mahomes' #1 receiver. And I went, oh, yeah, that's true, isn't it? And that's so true. So I fucking snagged him. And I love this pick. I think he's gonna have a good fucking year.
I think he's going to have a great year.
I think he's going to have a good year. So I'm excited.
I think he's going low in drafts, too.
He's going he is.
You can snag him later if you want to take that risk, but I think he's going lower than he should be going at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That's my team. Dak, Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson, Dameon Pierce, Robert Woods, Mark Andrews, CeeDee Lamb, Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, who might be a Philadelphia Eagle soon, which would be really cool because he won't be behind Nick Chubb. Allen Robinson, Juju, Garrett Wilson.
Love it. Love it, yeah.
Let's hear yours.
So I came in at the 4th pick, and I decided I'm going to take the Texans' prerogative this year. High upside, low downside. You got to take risks to win the league.
Yeah.
So I don't care about hamstrings or ACLs, okay? My #1 pick came in at the 4th spot. Christian McCaffrey fell to me. Had to snag him. When he's on the field, he's the greatest running back in the league. Definitely the best fantasy back.
Fantasy back, maybe.
He catches passes.
Maybe Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry above him.
And then I went with my next 4 picks. I went Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Cam Akers, and Darren Waller. And then at my flex, I have Brandon Cooks sitting there. Or I could switch that out with, Renfro, Bateman, Damian Harris, Chris Olave. And then my quarterback, Kyler Murray, reached a little bit for him, but they're going to be throwing a lot. He's going to be running a lot.
When'd you get him?
I think I got him in the 9th or something, and I really like to wait longer on my quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but
it's not too bad though, because that's a guy. Look, I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy myself, but when we're talking fucking fantasy, I mean, rushing,
he just scrambles around like a fucking
He's
like what was the old arcade? NFL game?
Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah, Tecmo. He runs around like a Tecmo Bowl player.
He does. No, yeah, I like that. I like that pick for fantasy for sure.
Absolutely. And then I like having a little bit of depth. I like options. So I went 2 QB, 2 tight end. I went Fairmouth as my second tight end, and then I got Derek Carr sitting as my QB2, who very well could be the league MVP this year.
Pump the brakes a little bit.
Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams. That's one hell of a fucking squad to throw the ball to.
True. But MVP, let's wrap it. I think Justin Herbert's winning MVP.
I think everybody's higher on the Chargers this year than they need to be. I like the Chargers. I think they're good. Everybody's putting them on like the Bills level, and I do not see that.
Yeah, maybe not, but I still think Justin Herbert is probably the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the league.
Debatable.
Derek Carr is not winning MVP.
We'll see. All right, we'll see. Damn it.
Is that who else? Anybody?
So Olave, and then
I like Olave. I like the Olave thing. I almost snagged him.
And then my last pick of the game draft, I took Treylon Burks just because it seems like the only motherfucker out in Tennessee anymore.
True, except for Robert Woods.
Yeah, but
who I have on my team, so fucking tread lightly.
Is he okay? Like, is he?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna get a majority of the targets. I think he'll get more targets than Treylon Burks, but I think it'll be pretty even. Tannehill, whatever. But Treylon Burks is like AJ Brown, just not as good, obviously, because he's a rookie. But I think
He's
next
much
year,
smaller than Brown too. Like,
yeah,
I feel like he can.
But I think Tannehill will pull. I think he'll spread the ball around to Woods and Treylon Burks pretty evenly. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah,
but also he might not be in your starting. Out of all those guys, who are you going to start? Who's
Cooks.
Oh yeah, well good. Who are your other receivers? Chris Olave is going to be on your bench.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill and Keenan Allen.
Okay. Oh my God! Wait, you have Cooks? Sorry, I must have blanked on that. You have Cooks, Tyreek, and Keenan Allen.
Yep. Because I was able to wait till the 4th to get Cam Akers because everybody was so scared of him.
Well, Cam Akers sucks. I don't know what to tell you, man.
He can be a top 5 in the league in the top 5 back in the league if his body stays working.
He's not.
It's cyclical, Noah. It's cyclical.
Look, he doesn't suck. That was harsh, but I don't think he's getting crazy numbers. But your team's going to be receiving.
My RB2.
Yeah, that's cool. That works. And you got C-Mac but man, I don't know.
I hope everybody's body's
dude. No, literally, like you better tighten up the ACLs. Let's tighten up the hamstrings because your running backs are.
I saw this thing and it was so true. It's if CMC falls to you in your draft, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to draft him and he's going to get absolutely done for the season by week 3, or you don't draft him and he leads the league in fantasy by a million.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be one or the other. None of us are going to pick the right one either.
Who got CMC in our league? Do you remember?
John.
Who was your number 1 pick, producer Garrett?
Eckler.
Austin
Eckler. I hate it.
I like that pick.
At 6.
Eckler went number 2 in my draft.
Yeah. No, dude, he's a machine because he's going to get receptions a lot.
Get him out of here.
Herbert's going to go through his things, go through his progressions. And
Top 5 running back.
Yeah. He's going to be a god. Not a god. But
I think, what's a possibility nobody's talking about when people need to be talking about more?
What?
I think the Chargers may miss the playoffs.
You're out of your mind.
You got to play Kansas City twice. You got to play Denver twice. You got to play Arizona twice.
Here's the thing.
Not as good as Denver. Denver not as good as them. They're the second best in the division.
Not Arizona. Vegas.
I'm maybe sound bold, but I think Chargers are better than Kansas City.
No.
Yeah, they're better than Chiefs. Chiefs are the second best team in that division.
Everybody's too high on Justin
Kansas
Herbert.
City might even have a better record than the Chargers, but I think overall they might split the season record, but I think Chargers are overall a better team.
What a gauntlet that fucking division is.
It's insane. But we're going to get to see them all play here in a few days. The first regular season game is coming up in a couple days. Who do you have winning between Bills and Rams Thursday night?
Bills and Rams Thursday night. What a game.
Can you believe that?
I think I have the Rams. I think I have the Rams pulling out a 30-27 victory.
It's going to be extremely high scoring. It's going to be nuts. I think I have the Rams winning. Oh, man.
Rams in the home opener.
Yeah, Rams. They're playing at SoFi?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rams winning, but it's going to be
nothing like that LA home crowd.
Yeah.
Nothing's more terrifying, right?
There's going to be a bunch of Cowboys jerseys in the fucking stands. But, I think I got the Rams, but it's going to be a shootout. I think you're about right there. 30-27, 35-28, something like that.
And I think it's going to be a fourth quarter deal. I think we may see Josh Allen slip up there in the fourth. I'm just pulling predictions out right now, but I think we may see him slip. I think another team. I'm high on the Bills, but everybody thinks they're like the 2018 Chiefs, and they're not.
What? I think they're pretty damn good.
Defense is going to be lacking over there, and I love Justin Herbert. I love Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is still on a world of his own.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Josh Allen's probably top. I don't know if Justin Herbert or Josh Allen's better, but they're
Josh
close.
Allen.
They're close. They're close.
Every time I want to give Josh Allen a good rating, I just have a flashback back to that postseason game against the Texans where he pitched it to. You just press LB on fucking Madden and just let it fly back there.
What a game that was. But all right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up the episode. Next time, the next episode of Off the Gridiron
will be a game review.
Yes, a week 1 review. We'll see. Next time you see us on this show, we're going to know if the Texans won. We're going to know if Davis Mills threw 4 picks. We're going to see if he threw 4 touchdowns. We're going to see if Dameon Pierce had 150 yards rushing or if he rushed for 32. You know, we're going to have all the answers.
3,200.
3,200 in one game. The score would
hell of a start to the season.
You know, the score is 497 to fucking.
It's about right. Sounds about right what the Texans are going to put up. It's going to be so much fun, though. We're all elated. Football is back. The wait is over. And Apollo Media is here to cover the whole damn thing for you. We'll see y'all next week.
Later.